Mini baler. After harvesting the grains, there are always a large number of stems left in the fields. When dry, they are perfect as food for cattle. In the past, harvesting the dry crop was a time-consuming task. Today, however, the task is no more difficult than working with a lawnmower. The mini baler is a baler that works together with a mower. It picks up the cut and dried vegetation, forming compact and dense bales that are easy to transport and store. Lely vector. The quality of cow's milk depends directly on the quality of its nutrition. Not only the composition of the food is important, but also the regularity and even the size of the portions. Fortunately, today maintaining the highest level of food is no longer a human concern, because smart automated systems like the one you see on the screen have been invented. Lely Vector was developed by engineers from the Netherlands. We could talk about the advantages of this system for a long time. Thanks to Lely Vector, the process of portioning and correctly distributing the food is carried out without human intervention. The device remembers the ingredients according to the feeding strategy. The robot distributes food frequently enough to ensure there's always fresh food in the feeding area. The machine is able to measure the height of the feed in different sections of the stable. This function allows Lely Vector to maintain an optimum food level without excess. Observations show that the feeding robot has a positive effect on the health of the cows, as well as on the amount of milk produced. In addition, Lely Vector can calculate the amount of food consumed by each cow and livestock group. Therefore, the robot provides optimal control over the cow's diet and improves agricultural efficiency. Haven Shield Door Barricade. We live in difficult and strange times. Today, it's impossible to be completely safe. At any time, at home, at work, or in a shopping mall, bad people can endanger our lives. Waiting for everything to end well is not for everyone. That's why inventions like the one you see on the screen are appearing on the market. It's a barricade for the door developed by Haven Shield. It's a device that can be installed on any standard door, improving its security features. The manufacturer claims that the barricade is an effective way to protect against thieves. The peculiar feature of the invention is that the door literally locks in 1 second. At the same time, the process is so simple that even a child can activate the system. Once the barricade is activated, the door is held in place by 4 strong latches. A metal plate further reinforces the door, preventing anyone from entering the room. During tests, the reinforced door was hit 98 times in 5 minutes. Although the structure received considerable damage, it still prevented entry to the room. Fog catcher. Unfortunately, not everyone in the world has access to drinking water. The world's brightest people are working to solve this problem, and sometimes they reveal their latest inventions. One of them is this unusual grid. It's a system that collects water from fog. The first tests were carried out near Lima in Peru. In this place, The Bronnerberg car flattener. Sooner or later, all cars stop working. The right way to get rid of an old car is to recycle it. Specialists buy used cars and then dismantle them for spare parts. What's left of the car, usually the bare body, is then sent for recycling. Special equipment converts the body into a pile of scrap metal. In this way, the waste becomes a useful secondary raw material, which can be used again. As you may have guessed, car recycling equipment is powerful, complex, and also subject to huge loads. That's why modern manufacturers are constantly trying to improve them. The device you see on the screen was developed by engineers from the Dutch company Bronnerberg. This car flattener provides a staggering productivity of 20 to 25 vehicles per hour. Liquid Glide. The enormous amount of food waste generated in our kitchens is part of the problem of global consumption. And we don't mean that people buy and cook more than they can consume. Part of the problem lies in the design of food bottles and cans. Their shape doesn't allow them to be emptied completely, and not all the content is used. This therefore forces us to shop more often. A team of scientists led by Professor Kripa Varanasi at MIT seem to have finally found a solution. They suggest covering the inside walls of cans, bottles, and containers with a special material known as Liquid Glide. The composition of the substance is not revealed for obvious reasons. However, the inventors claim that the composition is safe, harmless, and approved by many inspection authorities. Surprisingly, the massive use of Liquid Glide each year will save our planet 1 million tons of food waste. But that's not all. The fact is that many manufacturers specifically make bottles with a wide neck so that products don't get stuck. Liquid Glide will allow you to exchange wide necks for narrower ones. The annual plastic savings in packaging production will be 25,000 tons. The Orbital backpack. The last invention we want to show you today will be useful for almost all the inhabitants of the planet. This is because many of us have a backpack, and we know that sometimes it's very uncomfortable to use. The Orbital backpack is the first backpack in the world in which you can unstrap its storage space. If necessary, it can be removed in seconds. Keep in mind that the straps stay in place. When you board public transport or want to sit down, you don't need to waste time on uncomfortable movements, such as taking off or putting on your backpack. Instead, you can pull on the rope and move the backpack to a more comfortable position. The same thing happens when you need to take things out of your backpack. Hey, stop being lazy, it's time to use that brain of yours. Welcome to Brain Time. Incredible facts from the past, the present, and even the future. The power of nature and wild animals, amazing facts and unsolved mysteries. You'll find all this and much more here. Subscribe now, you won't regret it.